Well, here now is Ed Parkinson, the UK director of Viagogo, which is Europe's largest sporting tickets website. Welcome to you indeed. Given the scale of the Olympics, was it inevitable that there would be some empty seats? I mean, is there actually, in reality, the demand? Lots of people would like to go, but actually that's different from buying a ticket or trying to buy a ticket, isn't it?
Well, I think it is inevitable that there are certainly that people who can't attend, but I do think that the demand is there. We see this very frequently at Viagogo because we specialise in last-minute availability for major high-profile sports and entertainment events. And whether it's Premier League football or Grand Slam tennis, there will always be some tickets, however high the demand, that come available at the last minute, often very good seats, because VIPs and sponsors and guests can't attend. So this is inevitable that there'll be some tickets available, but that means you can plan for it. That means you can plan for a way to fill those seats.
And what would be an obvious way?
There are a number of ways to do it. I mean, one simple method is obviously to take those people who've bought tickets, have turned up to the cheaper seats and moved them down to the front. That happens at theatres up and down the country every weekend. Another way, of course, is then to have a standby list for people who perhaps prepared to take the chance, have got a ticket to the Olympic Park and are willing to queue up with the possibility of getting a seat.
But the problem, as I understand it, is partly that this so-called Olympic family, which is basically bigwigs and officials in the IOC, I mean, they are moving around between different events, aren't they? And so, in a sense, you know, they might turn up halfway through and stay for half an hour, but you can't give away their seats, kind of thing. Well,
that's part of it, of course, but I think it's important. I think there's a middle ground between, you know, yes, all 100 of us are coming, to absolutely none of us are coming, and there's a bank of empty seats. I think it's very important that the organisers do as much as they can to get those people to commit. Yes, of course, there'll be people who need to be in and out, but it's shown by the fact that there are now 3,000 more tickets made available today that it is possible to get these groups of people to commit, to decide when they're turning up, so that those tickets can be put back into the marketplace and made available to the public.
What about having people, you know, turning up on spec at events and seeing if they can get a ticket? I mean, obviously for security reasons, that's something they've tried to avoid, isn't it?
I think, given that for certain venues, like the Olympic Park, there are people there anyway who've got tickets to the park but not necessarily some venues, that means there are people around who could be put on standby lists, and by inviting people to come on standby, that might get more people to come to the park, enjoy the exhibitions, feel part of the event. So I do think it's possible, and I think it's something that can be addressed within the security constraints.
And companies such as yourselves, I mean, private companies, as you say, dealing in resale tickets, as I understand it, you're not being called in any way to deal with the Olympics, is that right?
The Olympics, I think, is something that's, in terms of ticketing, has been planned a long time in advance. I mean, we operate a marketplace for tickets ranging from...
I mean, could you help now?
I think at this point it would be difficult for us to step in, but I mean, certainly for future Olympics, we're looking to help and to try and alleviate this problem in the future.
And I mean, what is the psychological impact? You know, we've all been told how important these games are, of seeing vast ranks of empty seats, as people will have seen. I mean, does it actually spoil the event, even to a certain extent, for the people who are there and the participants?
I think it does. No one likes empty seats. It's not fair on the athletes who've trained, it's not fair on the organisers of the games, it's not fair on those people who are watching the event from a half-empty stadium. And that applies across events, from football matches to concerts to theatre productions. Empty seats should be avoided at all costs. So I think it really is important to get these seats filled.
And if people are looking for someone to blame on this, who should they blame? Should they blame the Olympic family, the IOC, the government, LOCOG? I mean, who do you think didn't think this one through? I
think it's very difficult to comment on that. Certainly, this is not specific to the London Games. It's something that's been seen in the past, and it's something that happens across all live events. So I think it's no one particular party, but it's something that everyone should get together for the next time round to address sooner rather than later.
Ed Parkinson, thank you very much.
Thank you.